Hey everybody, Dave here from Cherez Studios, and today I wanted to get together with you guys and encourage you guys to get growing. It's always a good time to get growing and grow some of your own food. I grow all this stuff in my living room. Pak choi, microgreens. I got the tomatoes and peppers started here. I've got broccoli, flowering broccoli here. I've got some more pak choi over there, and I got even some more stuff, some sage and some other stuff growing over there. So you can grow a lot inside during the winter time. So no matter where you are, where you live, and what kind of home or apartment you have, especially with hydroponics, it's very easy to grow all your own greens and herbs inside. And I'm getting my tomato plants started for outside. But I really want to encourage you guys to get growing, and there's never a better time to get growing than now, and that's any time. So because we can even in the summertime when the gardens are going good and everything, it's easy to get complacent and not do your second planting and your third planting, because we can really get a lot of really grow a lot of crops if we just keep at it. Just plant a few seeds every few days or every day. Plant something, and it only takes a minute to plant something, and then you have some beautiful, fresh, healthy food for yourself. And I really enjoy it, and I'm really, I ferment some of the foods. I dehydrate some of the foods so we can have, more long-term storage, and have some of this stuff. Like I have some dried tomatoes from last year, which are super delicious, and I make the kimchi out of the pak choi, and a lot of fun stuff. So I highly encourage you guys to grow some more, and if you're not growing, to get growing. And today I want to plant. There's a grow pipe up in the front here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm going to plant some arugula in the grow pipe in the front, and I also want to show you guys how I'm going to transplant the baby tomato plants into these half-gallon mason jars, like this one here, this little cherry tomato. So we're going to do one of those, and then what happens is that once these get big, and my greenhouse is set up or outside is ready, then I can just take and drop this into my 5-gallon bucket. Easy transplant. So I'll move some of this stuff out of the way, and I'll get started with transplanting another one of these tomatoes to show you guys. Okay, so I've got a half-gallon mason jar here, and 3-inch net cup, which fits perfectly right in there. I've got some clay pebbles. The clay pebbles are basically just to hold my little plant in place. You could use any kind of pebbles, doesn't matter. You can see the roots coming out on this little tomato plant. This is a cherry tomato. And if I just put that in the net cup, it would go in too far. So I'm going to put some of these clay pebbles in there. That's what the clay pebbles look like, and I reuse them, so that little bit of white on there is just some mineral buildup from the nutrients. So basically I just put enough in there so that they keep my tomato plant up to the top of the net cup, and that looks just about right. So I'm going to put my nutrient solution in. And I'm going to pour this nutrient solution in until the clay pebbles either start to float or the nutrient comes up just above them. Because what we want is we want to make sure that our little plant is actually about 1/4 of an inch of it is into the fluid. Until these roots reach into the fluid, we've got to maintain that moisture. So it's just about there. I'm going to add a little bit more. And then I'm going to just fill in around with clay pebbles. And that's all there is to it, folks. And when this gets big enough, I've even grown out small tomato plants right in these throughout the season, but even the smaller plants will get quite large in a hydroponic system. So it's better to transfer them out of here once they get to be about a foot or foot and a half tall or so. And then I'll just pick this little net cup up and drop it right into my 5-gallon bucket full of solution. So that's it. Now we got to make sure that we wrap this with some foil so that we don't get any light going into our nutrient solution, and that we put the proper labels on. I usually forget to label, and then I'm trying to guess what kind of tomato I've got. But this is a cherry tomato. And over here I have, these are 4th of July tomatoes, which is a tomato that's a little bigger than a cherry. It's about that big. It's a little bigger than a cherry, but not as big as a full grown. And these are a nice variety, the 4th of July tomato, because they come early. And then I got some peppers. But the peppers aren't ready to transplant yet. We got one little root poking out on the bottom of this one. But basically what I wait for to transplant is when you start to see a lot of roots coming out of your peat pellet. This is just a peat pellet. You can buy them anywhere, any home improvement store, Walmart, and the garden center. Okay guys, so what I've got here in the pipe is Maxi Grow, and it's filled up to about 1 inch from the top. I usually fill it right up until that first mark on my finger. So that's about 1 inch from the top. And I put my tape over the holes, and then I just poked a slit in each one of these holes with the knife. And now I'm just going to try to gently pull out a couple of these arugula babies out of here. Some of these I want to leave in here to grow into baby greens. That root came out nice. But they're too heavy, planted too heavy in there. And I wanted to see how these would do in the grow pipe, because I haven't grown in the grow pipe yet. Well, I haven't grown arugula in the grow pipe yet. So then I'm just going to open up that hole a little bit with the knife and try to drop this in here. And you want to be careful, but you don't have to be too concerned. I've never really had any problem. We just try not to break any of those little baby roots. And that's it. So, okay everybody, so I've got my baby arugula babies in here, all in the grow pipe. And I've still probably got too many in this container. But that's okay, I'll thin them out a little bit as I want some arugula. And I've got to wrap my containers here. And I got a couple more tomatoes to plant. But once again, I encourage you guys to get growing, and I think you'll really enjoy it. And I hope you all have a great growing season. Be good to each other, and take care of each other. And happy growing. I'll see you next time.